Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. How are you all doing? Hi, Reenu. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Dr. Paras.
How are you?
I'm just doing fine. Sorry, actually, my laptop was giving a little issue, so I
I
just
felt
got.
so. I thought so. Yes. Okay. So, Reenu, a warm welcome to this program. Just give me a minute. Let me just put you on the spot. So, Reenu, how are you feeling this after evening for you? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Actually, a little bit of confusion because of the time difference. So I was
Yes.
a little not sure that what exactly will be the time that I have to join. But then I could come here at the right time. That's the main
Awesome.
thing.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad to see you. And it's good to wait for, famous people. Not to worry, you're an amazing coach in UK in Dubai. So I'm sure it's wonderful to see you. So let me share a little bit about Reenu. So Reenu is founder of Stress Free All, a coaching, mindfulness, and wellness company in Dubai, UAE. She has done her bachelor's in positive psychology and master's in environmental psychology and ecological education from IIEE Delhi. She went on to do her MBSR and MBCT from Oxford Divinity School, Oxford, and NLP from Mindbridge Trainings, USA. She did a stress management and CBD from British Psychological Society and Center of Stress Management UK. And she is ERYT. I don't know the full form. I'm sure she'll be able to explain later. Is 500 hours of therapeutic yoga teacher and an accomplished grief and trauma healing and meditation teacher. She is connected as SME subject matter expert, coach and wellness consultant with Sherry Blair Foundation, UK, American University, Dubai, ADNOC, Humanitarian Network, Move and Pickup Group, and many more. She works with those who are interested in increasing their self and life awareness and explore and create a successful life ahead. So, and also she is a PCC from ICF. So over to you, Reno. You have the sharing option. If you need any help, I'm right there for you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paras, and a warm welcome to all of you for joining today. Uh, so, before starting, if everybody agrees, we can just take a few seconds to just connect to wherever we are and align ourselves uh, for the session. So, wherever you are, just put the feet down and you sitting comfortably, and you can bring your focus to wherever you are sitting. And for a moment, observe yourself sitting. Are you comfortable breathing? I'm sure you might have gone through the whole day's stress. Just observe for a moment. How are you feeling at this moment? With a breath in and out, connect to the screen where we are all connected and appreciate yourself to take out time to be here. And thank you very much. Before starting or telling anything, if you can just write one word, what are your expectations from this session today? Just one word. Or if you've got more words, you're most welcome. But what are your expectations from uh, today's session? So I can see clarity, learning, refresher. Thank you very much, curiosity. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Feeling of enlightenment. Oh, okay. I understand. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. So it gives me a fair idea of you being here. So today's topic is personal foundations of success for coaching success. And I want to start with a short story, very short story, which is what I felt when I started doing this webinar long time back. So I live in Dubai, and as all of you must have seen somewhere or another, that it is a city which is known for its skyscrapers all around, and not only in a straight line, but in different shapes and sizes, pineapple and round, oval, everywhere, shiny buildings with glasses. So it used to mesmerize me a lot. So first time when Burj Khalifa was made, and I was working as a counselor in a university at that time. So I we took our children, like who were students, first year students, joined, and when you go there, there is a small museum under it where they tell the story of how it has been made. So that was the first time, because it's such a tall building. First time I saw that how much effort, time, and materials have gone to make the foundation solid and strong. And they have very beautifully put everything. When you walk through the corridors, you can see both sides that how this building has come up. So yeah, foundations have to be strong if you're going to build a tall building and you want it to sustain over the period of time and weather and everything. So that was my story, that how important foundations are. And now let's shift back to our webinar today. So I guess I want to put a small PowerPoint, uh, which I'll just do that. Can you see it? So yeah, so when we start in this webinar, this the important thing is to understand what are personal foundations. So for you, what personal foundation means? Can you please write in the chat box if you can quickly? What personal foundations mean to you? We know what are foundations, but personal foundations and how important they are. So I can see values, beliefs, and experiences, experience and wisdom. Thank you so much for sharing knowledge, values. Thank you. Thank you. So personal foundations, we all know that are the building blocks for anybody and any base. So which are the main reasons what we are today, whatever personal foundations we had initially, and it has been built up. It may be given by your parents, your families, and later on in life, we create our own, for workplace, for our personal life, for relationships, for gaining any sort of important. Even if you see ISPCS, when you talk to them nowadays, there are lots of videos out that how they have worked on certain values, beliefs, as you are mentioning over here, that they have to work on that. And foundations are not built in uh, just one go. They take years to be formed. So now, when we talk about foundations, we all know that personal foundations can be different for all of us. It can be, as you said, it can be about self belief. They give us confidence, they give us a lot of uh, self fulfillment. So they can be different for each one of us. And in coaching and being successful in coaching, it is very, very important, because whatever we bring in coaching, whether it's ethics, whether it's trust, whether it's whatever core competencies, if you go through and if you have done from ICF, they are all basically based on that. So if we go to the next slide, there are some skills which are required for personal foundations. In this one, it is like everybody has got different personal foundations. And what are the skills which are required for creating these personal foundations is very important. And these three of them, which I have brought for you, are part of our core competencies as well. So, first one, which is trusting yourself as a coach. How do you trust yourself as a coach? Sometimes, definitely, as human beings, whatever we do and whatever we say, many a times doubt do creep in that whether we are doing the right thing, and more so when we are starting as a coaches. And it we all also know that trust is not built in one day. It takes too many things are involved, as much self-awareness, because self-awareness creates confidence, and confidence make us trust in ourselves more and gives us whatever is required to be imparting or creating or supporting whatever we want to do in coaching. So trusting yourself is a skill which requires you to build up slowly, day by day. And there is a quote which I remember here, that it says that 10,000 hours of practice makes you expert in anything. And I also remember over here that somebody asked Bruce Lee that how do you do whatever you do so perfectly? He says, I am not going for a thousand ways of doing things. I only know one thing and I practice it day and night. And that's why he was so perfect. If you've seen his movies, that he was so quick and so perfect in whatever he did. So coaching here is also about trusting yourself, and that trust, to create that trust, it will take practice. So as much practice, you will keep on getting, believing in yourself more and more and more. So second part is that believe in the coaching partnership. And this I'm telling from my own experiences. Some of the incidences I just want to bring in over here because it gives a different perspective. When I started as a coach initially, many a times mind used to always go to different things. It used to think how somebody is paying, it's a paying client. How are we going to do justice by not speaking, by just believing in this? Your mind gets doubtful that will it give enough to the client? So all these questions and more, they will be coming and they will create some sort of shakiness that is it okay? But if you trust in the process of partnership, it will unfold itself beautifully. As and when you'll go slowly with the step by step, whatever you are following in your coaching sessions, it can be a grow model, it can be any technique, but trust in that partnership which you are creating with your client. Then comes the true partnership, getting curious. At that time, many a times in different societies, we are raised up in different ways. Coaching is a novelty. People think, they do the mistake of thinking that it is the same as advising, same as so many other modalities, counseling. But believe you me, it is not. And as you are now all coaches with me, you will agree with me that it is not, it doesn't matches with many entities which we are aware of. Still, I meet many people who say that, okay, you are a coach counselor. So it is not the same. It is different, and coaching has got its own uniqueness. And many of the people who you will be partnering with are not aware. So it's a good idea to be very very clear in your initial contract, and that will bring over here the clarity of partnership. And supporting them, you can support them, you can create new opportunities with this partnership if you believe in the process and if you go as the way you have to. And the third part comes when you believe in clients' abilities. As coaches, we all have to start with that we are not above anybody, we are all equal. As soon as we bring this sentence in our mind, it brings us in the similar grounds, which it is a very, very important thing in coaching. And you may say that I am not telling you anything new till now, but these are the most important skills which we need to know deeply about before getting into personal foundations. And again, in our societies, many times, even in the corporate world, there is hierarchy. Somebody is in the higher level, somebody is in the middle level, somebody is in the lower level. And when you meet them, you have to bring them to your level and you have to come to their level, because we are not working from that we are going to advise. We are just trying to work in a similar, symmetrical level where we are starting from client is able, client is all, has got all whatever is required to be solving their own problems. So we are not the problem solvers here. We are not the helping people over here. We are just supporting in what clients want for themselves and specifically at that moment what they want. So that is the third point, which is trusting in clients' abilities or postulating in clients' abilities rather than trying to think that the person who is coming has got some problem or some issue and I'm going to help them solve. So these three skills, if we can, which can't be developed, as I have mentioned, that can't be happening in 1 day, 2 day, or a month or a year. It continuously keeps on happening. So why do we say that coach has to continuously keep on upgrading their skills? And continuously, we have to keep on reminding ourselves with each client that we are starting anew and we are starting from this ground. Because many a times, because you are able to, we are in that business or that profession where you do may feel sometimes that you have achieved this or you have created that. So we have to be very, very sure that we keep on reminding ourselves that we are not here in any upper state of being or mind or more knowledgeable. We have to always bring ourselves to the similar grounds where the client is starting from, and non-judgmental attitude. That's why mindfulness is a very good ally to coaching. It brings self awareness, it brings moment to moment understanding and awareness, which is required in coaching. So, uh, these are three skills. Now let's here I just want to just take a minute or so to ask all of you that is there any question or anything which you want to share over here? You're most welcome.
So, Reenu, I have a question for you. Maybe just looking at your perspective, when you talked about, you gave an amazing thought about, how to build trust and how to have a partnership. Now, what exactly happens when we are treating the person as a partner and not one up position? That means or one down position. So, what is the power of partnership in coaching? If you would like to share some light.
So, Dr. Paras, if I'm right, you are saying that what is the power of partnership in
Yes,
coaching?
that's right.
Yeah, yeah. So, coaching partnership is we start and believe that once we believe in that client is not having any issue, he has got all the answers. We come to that ground where we are equals. I want to be your partner. I want to be in the same level and I just want to support you in what you want to find out in your issues. So once you come to that level and you are just there, being there, it just creates magical moments. When your client goes thinking that nobody is assessing him, judging him, it is just my partner, and I am just sharing my own deepest thoughts, emotions, issues within myself, and it is not going to be used, misused, or in any way. So, that sort of honest, trustworthy partnership is required for a well balanced and most beneficial, uh, what you say, that most beneficial further relationship with your client or groups. So, let's now move on to our main part of keys or foundations for coaching success, the four keys. And these four important keys have been researched with the leaders, with the high achievers, with the successful businessmen, that these four keys have been adapted, used by many of them, which has taken them to the heights of whatever they wanted to achieve, super successful levels. So it is not only about coaching, it is about in any business organizations, in any small or big entities, they have been used and they have been the most beneficial in many, many ways. So let's start with acknowledging or noticing keenly. Now, once you have got those three skills, when you trust yourself, when you are able to create a trust in the partnership, and when you trust in your client or believe in your client, then it comes, then things start unveiling itself. Now, what does acknowledging means? So I would like here if you can quickly write what acknowledgement means for you, maybe a word or so, so that I get an idea of respected, being heard, seen, valued. Amazing. Thank you for sharing. Huda says no self-values, ability to connect and be fully present. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Being felt valuable. Thank you, Anil. Thank you for sharing. I relate to something they were. Thank you. So we all, I hope all of us are aware that acknowledgement or acknowledging is one of the most important skill and a powerful tool in any coaching diaries. Like in your own toolbox, this should be one of the most important. I see, and what I see, that matters a lot. Acknowledgement is basically a cornerstone of appreciative inquiry. Appreciative inquiry is also called AI, but AI is also artificial intelligence. But here I'm talking about appreciative inquiry. Each one of us, as human behavior, each one of us want to be appreciated and acknowledged for what we are doing. Even anybody, we are talking about even what is when we give tip to a waiter, because we want to appreciate and acknowledge them that you have done something for us. So we all want acknowledgement, and we also want a true acknowledgement. Now many a times people mistake in thinking that acknowledgement and praise is the same. Acknowledgement and praising somebody is not same. They are two different things. And as coaches, we need to understand the difference between acknowledgement and praise. Because if you just praise somebody, you have not gone deeper, then other person comes to know. It doesn't hold so much of value. Here I want to give you some example. If suppose someone is trying to change a job, you can say, I want to acknowledge the courage it took for you to decide to change a job at this age. And if you are praising, oh, that's great, you're changing a job, that's wonderful. Or you can say, I acknowledge the courage in you that you it took you to change your job or profession or anything at certain age. So the difference is that praise is off the shelf. You have just said, oh, you're looking good. But if you say it must have taken a long time for you to dress up and look all looking like this. So it is appreciative to come to my place. You have taken so much of effort, or you're looking good. That's okay. So there is a difference between when you acknowledge somebody or when you praise somebody. So we also have to be a little bit aware. We need to go beyond the physical self when we are getting into this key of personal success. Not only from the top, the client's mannerisms, the way that person is being at that moment, the facial expressions. So you are not only seeing, you are seeing deeply. You are getting a step further. You're also getting into that place which normally people don't see. And that is what gives you an insight, which is helpful for coaching process, and as well that you are able to go to those words or go to that part of it where it creates some difference. It creates in client's mind, yes, this person is understanding me. So that connect is being formed. So I see, but not from the top. I am also seeing deeply with curiosity, and I am with you. This is what we need to share with our client. So, the second key is open and powerful questioning. We all know as coaches what is open questioning, open end questions. We all know because they take us towards future oriented, and they are giving the space for client to explore. So we want open and powerful questioning because we want perceive clients' thoughts and explore their emotions. We want to know more. That is the reason why we want to get into this open end questioning and powerful questioning. And open questions are those questions which help us client to open up. They start thinking about themselves and they start exploring possibilities. And powerful questions are those where they empower client to choose the direction they want to move in. They want to get into new insights, they want to explore something, and that is where the coaching gets deeper. And lots of aha moments, lots of dancing in the moment, lots of insights which they are looking for. So, actually, with the I could not get enough time to send, but I have got a very nice, which I have created, some powerful questioning framework sort of thing, which I will share with Dr. Paras. Maybe later they can share with all of you if you are interested. But what I have done is put some questions in certain headings. So I will just tell you here, but I don't have a picture added to PowerPoint. uh, there are some questions when we start with which are opening conversations. So we all know that we open with what are you hoping for, or what is the goal for today's session and everything. They're opening two conversations. Then comes understanding what's important. So what do you want? What do you need? What makes it matter? Then comes examining the current situation. It is basically based on grow model. So we are now trying to examine the current situation. What is working for you and what is not working for you? What do you notice? What strikes you? What drains you out? So this is the third part of it. When we examine the current situation, then comes exploring possibilities. What is possible? What would that give you newer insight? What resonates for you? What is new about this? Or what could you do more which can create that what you want? So, fourth is exploring possibilities. Then comes going below the surface, which is deeper. So, what do you wish? And how do I come across what you are wanting? What is the choice over here? Who are you becoming? What are you trying to resist? And then comes probing for clarity, because we need to find out what clarity they are getting out of it. What do you mean? What feels unclear in this whole situation? Who else? What else? What now? And then comes the closing the conversation, which is what could you start doing? Could you stop doing, and what could you start doing? What will you commit to at this moment? And what do you need to do? So here, I very much believe in grow model and smart goals, And it works in a corporate environment a lot, in executive coaching and in corporate environment, because very logical people you come across, very very logical, they want logic in everything. So when you get step by step in this way, it creates that understanding and clarity by the end of the session. So this is what comes in open and powerful questioning. Now the third key is noticing, reframing, and empowering. Noticing is just for the sake of it, because noticing is basically acknowledging, but reframing and empowering, which is another very important aspect, because reframing is changing perspective. When you reframe anything, it is you are trying to create another perspective of the same thing for yourself or for others. And as coaches, we use it all the time. And it is without doubt, I can say that it's one of the most powerful tools in a coach's bag. Now, as I've told you, reframing is changing perspective. And why do we change perspective? Because we want to see new options. We want to create new options for our clients. We want them to see the same thing what they have been thinking or imagining. We want them to think it differently so that they can get solutions out of it. For example, reframing helps us shift from positive or passive to active. So, for example, I'm just thinking, if a client says, I really doubt that I can do anything about this, then coach can just ask, what is one small step that you can take? I really doubt that I can do anything about this. And what is one small step that you can take? Or reframing also shifts us from negative to positive, the feeling of negative and the feeling of positive. If your client says, I don't want to work on that project now because it makes me feel sad, what will be the coach who's trying to reframe? What small part of that might you work on for now that might bring happiness, a feeling of happiness to you? This is one of the most powerful tools which I used many a times, and I've seen that it makes client think. And this is what as coaches we want. It also helps us, reframing also helps us take our client from past to future. For example, if your client says, I have never been good in public speaking. So, if you imagine yourself to be successful at public speaking, what is that one thing which you should have? And the last part of reframing and empowering, this it shifts from others to self. It brings your focus to others and brings it to yourself or self. So if a client says that they don't seem to like me or they don't like my work, a coach can say, what do you like about yourself? Is there something which anybody wants to ask in between? Please go ahead and do that, because I'm going one by one, and maybe later if you have got some questions I can take it. But if, because I'm giving examples over here, so if you want to ask, you are free to ask. Maybe I can take a couple of them in between as well. So yeah, so there are I mean, for reframing there are three things which I have tried and they helped, which are observe, describe, and participate. You need to be aware when you are reframing that how are they feeling when you are shifting the focus from their perspective to a different perspective. And you can bring words when you observe to those changes non judgmentally, not talking about any judgment, what they think is right, wrong, or anything. It is okay. But what is that creating within them? And then participate, or you can say that mindful attitude, if you can bring in that moment, how you are going to bring it, which can empower them, create that feeling of empowerment. So that is important when you are reframing to empower your clients. And this is one of the most important keys in personal foundations for coaching success. If you're looking for coaching success, this is one of the most important one to create that. And the last one, which is not the least, is the most important but the most difficult, using the power of silence. How many of you agree that silence is golden? And how many of you will say in coaching, you feel guilty of creating that silence? And to cover that, you need to, because the time is limited, and many a times you feel that how the person will feel who is a paying client when I'm giving too much of silent spaces. Nature has given us 2 ears and one tongue. So 2 ears to listen more and speak less. But because we have got power of words, at times we forget how to use them. And to listen fully means that you need to pay close attention to what is being said and what is not being said, which is beneath the words, you can say. And in coaching engagements, it is very important using silence to your benefit and your client's benefit. So silence prompts and helps client to think deeply, and they are very necessary. They allow the coachee or your client time to think and time to listen to their own self deeply. Now, silence is magical. We all say we know, but how many of us really feel magical, or how many of us really feel comfortable in silence? This I would like to know as we are coming towards the end of our session. So I would like to know how many of us are very comfortable in silent environment when all around you complete silence is there. You can just write in the chat, please, that what silence means to you. Are you comfortable in silence? When it is not for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's for longer period of time.
Reenu's,
Suhas says, I'm comfortable.
yeah,
Yes, Dr.
Swarita,
Paras?
Swarita has asked a question. I guess she raised a hand in case if you have
Yes.
time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Over to you,
please,
Swarita.
please.
I was just saying yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I could read sometimes extended silence creates a bit of suspenseful discomfort. Yes. I'm in journal. Huda says I'm in journal and coaching is challenging many times. That's true. That's very, very true. But silence creates, uh, initially, it may be as individual. Initially, when you are in silent environment or in silence for more than say 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you start, many questions start creeping up. And some people get anxious. Some people start, they can't take what is coming up in their mind when there is nothing to talk about. But in coaching engagements, it is one of the most important thing to do to create those very, very brief moments of silence, which creates an insight in your client, which will create an insight in your client and give them time to think. Because many a times when you're covered with the noises, you don't really go deep. You just do one after another. We become human doings rather than being human being, what we are called. When we are covered with noises, we become human doings, and when we are silent, we become human being, just being there. So giving small silences, those brief moment of silence in coaching engagements are very beneficial. And don't try to cover up. We try. Initially, I learned it over the time. When you start in coaching, you do feel at times that how it is a minute silence. But slowly we realize that those silences are not empty. They are creating that inner insight in your client. And after that comes the observation. If you observe your client during those silent moments, you'll see lots of twitching, scrunching on the chair. You will see a lot of moving or eyelids or maybe blinking, because deeper things are going on. That gives you insight if you are seeing. So all these four keys, they are entwined in each other and deeply connected. So I'll leave over here with the quote that a good coach, we are all trying to become excellent coaches. And a good coach can change a game, but a great coach can change a life. It is a quote from somebody, I don't remember who has said that. And coaching works because it's all about client. When we connect with what we really want and why, and take action, magical things happen. And this is what we want to create in coaching for self and others. So these are four keys which can take us to our coaching successes, whatever we are trying to do. And any questions or anybody has got any doubts, please go ahead.
So, Reenu, there was one question by Namita, that it seems to be a challenge that approximately 50% of people in India are not aware of coaching, what ISIC research says. So any comment on that you want to give?
Yeah, so that's what I reckon as well. I have not worked much in India, but I come in contact with lots of Indians over here. So who don't know coaching, who don't know what coaching means. They want to get a solution to their problem and they come. So what I started doing is I have created one article, you can say, or some write-up, which I send them before even contracting, that you should know that what coaching is, and then we can go to the next step, because that really helped me a lot. Because once they know, many of them go away because they are only looking for advices. And but many of them who have even not done any session of coaching, but they are ready to delve deeper into it. So it helped me. So you can try out writing us what coaching means and what exactly it is, and you can send them before getting into any contracting or any further this connection.
Thank you for that. And just to extend that further, Namita, maybe sharing articles or educating your client what exactly coaching is through any form. One's article could be videos, could be just a small 10 minutes conversation, could be very helpful. because people are not aware, but we need to educate them, and that could be one of the foundation steps for us to be mindful coaches. Okay, so Reenu, we are on the top of the hour. Is there anything from your end you want to share or brief quickly, and then I can get back to someone else?
I would, yeah, thank you, Dr. Paras. I would just like to acknowledge all of you, appreciate you all being here, taking out time and being here, and hope you've got some small thing out of this session, because we all want to go towards success in as we are in this business of coaching. But the most important thing is that you have to continuously work on yourself before getting into anything. So if you don't work on yourself and whatever knowledge you have acquired, you think that you've become a coach, it is only going to take you to that far. But if you want to be a successful coach, you need to definitely keep on practicing, keep on working on yourself, in your self awareness, in your moment to moment understanding of self, and then the others awareness will start coming to you. So that's all, and thank you very much. I really appreciate and thank you.
Thank you once again, Reenu, for this wonderful webinar. And it was quite an insightful. Many people have enjoyed that and found it very insightful. I could see that on the messages and personal chats I've been getting. So thank you once again. So for the rest of them, another 2-3 minutes, I'll just quickly wind up. The closing password if you applied for your CCU hours, okay, the closing password is there on the chat. Please copy that. Okay, so you should use that and then download your certificate. If you're not applied via CCU, the box or the button, then you may not be able to claim that. But if you're able to apply that, you just need to use this code and download your certificate. Now, for people who would like to learn more about Reenu and connect with her, that's the link of the LinkedIn. You can always connect with her. She's a wonderful person. I've worked with her personally. And our next webinar is happening on 24th of June, is how to become a life coach. So if you're interested to learn more, this is a link. You can register. Please register via, where should I put the password, Ashwin? If you have registered via the CCU, go back to the dashboard. And from the dashboard, you'll be able to get the CCU, particular webinar that you're looking to attend or you attended, and you have to apply that and put this password and download your certificate. So it was wonderful talking to all of you. Have a wonderful time ahead. Reenu, thank you once again, and take care, everybody. See you. Bye-bye. Good night and good day to the people in the rest of the world. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Park.